Hello. Hola.
I think the world is on our campus, and lots of times we see groups of students staying together in class or around campus. While that's fairly normal and natural, I think we're all missing a lot of opportunities to learn from each other. We know that most fields are now looking for employees that have good communication and good intercultural skills, particularly in business. And there's plenty of empirical research that indicates this. So taking the opportunity to learn more from each other, I think, is important. And it's not just about being nice, right? It's about developing actual competencies. It's about skills just as much as it's about attitudes. And so I think we all have work to do, and none of us have arrived yet. And yeah, I wish that in class there was more of a way in which students from different perspectives were able to share perspectives. So if we had more of a sort of multi-perspective way of coming at different challenges rather than there's one right way.
Hey Peter, how are you?
That would be nice. So I think in some ways our instructors do a good job of that, and sometimes not so much. And I think if the students think that's an important learning outcome for being on such a multicultural campus, then we need to put pressure on teachers and people creating the programs to make sure that those learning outcomes are in addition to the disciplinary learning outcome.
So do you find other nationalities' communication styles difficult?
Yeah, it's very difficult because at times the way they used to behave, the way they communicate with you, make you to feel as if you are inferior. Because at times, even if you are trying to seek their help, the way they will communicate with you, the way some will try to shun you as if you're not even talking to them. So I think it's a barrier.
Okay, so you think different nationalities have their own communication styles, so that also affects your own communication style with them? Is that what you're trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is that at times you'll be communicating with them. Some of them will say, pardon me, that they don't really understand the way you speak. You know, we have different tonation, right? So instead for some of them to be patient, because we are new here, we're just trying to adapt to the way they speak and everything, so that they'll be able to hear us clearly. Some of them will not even be patient enough. They will just say, oh, I'm so sorry, don't have the time right now.
At the first time I came here, it's so difficult for me to communicate with everyone because my language, my English at that time is not really good.
Become a little more brave. I think most people are happy to talk about their culture, to talk about their perspectives, to talk about their upbringing if the questions are asked in a respectful way. I think a lot of times students are a little bit fearful of asking questions because they don't want to be causing offense to people. So we need to develop the skills to ask the questions, and part of that is just being brave, right? And making sure that the questions or things that we're wanting to know about other cultures, that we frame those as inquiry, that we want to know more and that we genuinely are interested. And then there's probably very little risk of causing offense. So a really fundamental piece of becoming interculturally competent, aware, and able is cultural self-awareness. So starting to understand what your own orientation is, what your own preferences are, and how those may be the same or different to the people that you're working with. And then it becomes a process of mutual adaptation. It shouldn't be that everyone is adapting to one style because the most people in the group have that style. And that'll happen, but it's about mutual adaptation, but we can't do that until we understand a little bit more about what we're bringing to the interaction, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really a key piece, is starting to provide students with.
I think we can improve on it, like the way we have a finance club in this school. Maybe we should just try to like have a club that will like bring both international and local students together. So by doing so, it will make us like have a good rapport, like a good communication with them, and then it will make us to know their do and don'ts. So you'll be able to like mix up with them.
My advice still so be yourself and be more confident and try to learn as possible as you can in many situations. For example, like some word at the first time I don't understand, then I will ask my friend what it is meaning, then apply for the new situation.
Council is a club on campus and has two related functions. So the first function is we try to increase our own members, try to increase their own intercultural understanding, and this is done through various workshops throughout the semester, and it's also done with like self-reflective assignments. And then the other function of it is to plan events on campus to reach out to the rest of the students and share what we've learned to the rest of the population.
It's more focused on self-development rather than going out and just telling people what's the right way of doing it or what's like the ideal approach to it. So if I'm not learning from someone else, then how am I developing myself itself, or how am I like making new friends itself? It was one of the biggest questions that I had initially when I came to Canada itself. What about you, Kenna?
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm from Canada. I'm from Kamloops. And one thing that I've noticed with Canadian students is sometimes they are uncomfortable working with international students, like in class groups and things, and it's largely based on stereotypes and not understanding other cultures. Like if someone's different from them, they don't really know how to really deal with the conflict, right? So I feel like IC Council gives you a lot of skills for dealing with that, having better communication.
Okay, I've come all the way halfway across the world to make more friends with people from back home. Yes, exactly.
Kind of very cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure that happens with everyone, right? Without ways, by just knowing or just by understanding like about another culture, like where collectivism comes in, where individualism comes in, and things like that, you can yourself better assess that okay, this is not just like it's not that this person is bad or something. It's just the way he was brought up, or like grew up, and things like that. And no culture is wrong or bad that way. They're just different. But does different ever really mean bad?
Yeah, we had an event last year. It was called Taste of Culture, and it was about food.
I remember. Tasty one.
Yeah, the
I like
relationship between food and culture. So we had little sample sizes of different food dishes from about, I think, 5 or 6 different cultures.
Yes, I think so. I tried everything.
Oh, there you go.
I was hungry.
And then we also tried to incorporate like what the significance of that dish is to their culture and what that says about their culture. And yeah, it had its successes.
Getting the person interested is the first stage, and then getting the person curious is the second part of it, right?
Yes.
And then you start researching and
By yourself or
by yourself or any other way.
You just give motivation.
Yes, exactly. But in an ideal scenario, we would be able to teach everyone exactly what it is, but then it honestly has to come from the individual if they have to want that curiosity or
Okay, everybody, you guys have any ideas for our group project? Yeah.
That might be... Come on, man, it's boring. Like, we can do a video about because I don't want to do anything else. I will tell you, it's a garbage. Plus.
Oh, that's okay. Like, you should let him talk. If you're not gonna let him talk and you feel you have everything of the idea, I'm just gonna leave this for you, serious.
No.
Serious? Come on, you don't have any idea, right? If you don't have any idea, so you can be quiet and you can agree with something, right?
Yeah, we can agree, but you should let him talk first. You can also consider what he's saying too. Not just you and you and you.
Everyone has to contribute ideas to
Yes,
this.
exactly.
Hi guys. Last group meeting we had a tough time communicating. I feel like this could really help us. Okay, so have you guys decided what we're gonna do?
Yeah, do you have anything to say?
That's a little paper.
How about we do the video too?
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Together.
Woo, woo, woo.
Together.